go check out the after party Hangover. Hashtag shut the fuck up for one.
We kiss the stars. We ride. We are your name. Desire.
Welcome to the after party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I'm your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, returning co-host of the Wrestling Tacos podcast. Congratulations to the future father of a new baby boy. Franco is Imosawa. What's going on, my man?
What the hell is up, man?
How's your day been going? This Corona shit getting to you yet?
Yeah, man, it's freaking boring. I'm just on TikTok making videos on that, and it's just getting boring. I'm tired of being at home.
If you don't mind me asking, how many children do you have?
I have one. I have a stepdaughter. She is currently 8 years old.
Are you excited about the new baby boy on his way?
We don't know the gender yet, but yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, I thought it said boy on your picture. My bad.
Oh, no, I put it. Is it going to be a boy or a girl?
I might have just jinxed it. Now you're going to have a girl. Watch.
I'm actually hoping for a boy. I keep telling my wife that we're going to have a boy, so with us saying that, I'm pretty sure we're going to jinx ourselves and have a girl.
Whether it's a boy or a girl, are you going to try to motivate your child into getting into wrestling?
Yes, I tried it with my daughter, but she liked it for a little bit, but then she got out of it, and now she's trying to get back into it. But I think she's trying to get into it because she sees me and my wife enjoying it, so she wants to enjoy it too.
Have you mapped out what their name would be and what their gear would be and everything, like every
Yes.
wrestling fan does?
If it's a boy, they're gonna be named Gideon after me and my wife's favorite movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Dude, I love
And
that's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, that's ours. That's actually the first movie we saw together, I believe, and we've always loved it. We always go back and rewatch it, like maybe a few times a year. So we decided on Gideon for the boy.
Gideon and G-Man?
Yeah, G-Man. And hopefully he's nerdy as well, like Gideon. And for the girl, I've always liked the name Aberdeen. So we're going with Aberdeen for the girl.
Is Aberdeen, does that have any pop culture references?
No, I mean, there's a band I used to listen to, Cage the Elephant, that had a song or was it an album called Aberdeen. I think it was a song. Yeah, I was on Thank You, Happy Birthday.
Nice, man. Well,
But I've always liked the name Aberdeen.
how's your podcast going? Have you interviewed any more wrestlers that are famous in your area?
When was the last time I was on? I forgot when I was on. Like November?
Oh, wow.
Let's see. I've interviewed a few wrestlers back in Corpus because I moved to Louisiana now, so that sucks. But
Yeah.
I interviewed a few. Richard Garcia, who was a guy from San Antonio. I interviewed him last. He was the last interview back in December. We also interviewed the person that's least known right now. I don't know if you know him, Killer Cross. We interviewed with him.
Yes, sir. Just made his debut on NXT. Well, sort of debut.
Yeah, he appeared in that video package, and dude, that's like one of my favorite wrestlers. I'm fucking excited for Killer Cross.
He's being put with Scarlett, right? They're going to go in together?
It hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm hoping for it.
That'd be badass because I know they both could bring another set of eyes to the NXT product.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and go over the Steel Reel After Party episode 116, Psychedelic Chalupa, or as it should have been called, Jake Turns Heel. They kick off the podcast by talking about Dick Pound canceling the Olympics. Do you or anyone else give a shit about the Olympics?
I've never cared about the Olympics whatsoever. I believe whenever I get bored, this one time I watched it, but like I watched maybe 10 minutes of it and turn it off.
It's always that thing you can turn on at like 3 at night and watch whenever you can't sleep or something. But other than that, I've never liked the Olympics because it always messes up the programming on network TV.
Yeah,
And plus, everybody else is in better shape to me, so I'm bitter.
yeah, that too. You know, us fat guys can't catch a
Mega,
break with the Olympics.
that's right, man. Putting the mega pounders to shame. Speaking of factions, have you put any thought into joining any of the 3 factions that are in APPW?
There's 3 factions.
There are the Mega Pounders with Cheese, there's the Cynic Mafia, or hashtag World Order.
Hashtag World Order no, because I personally, I think is it Adam? He hates Jake, and you know Jake's my favorite, so I just can't agree with him. No hate on him, obviously, but you know, Cynic. I like Cynic. Cynic Chaos, I believe his name. He has some funny ass TikToks. I follow him on TikTok. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Peter Wayne can. I don't support a serial killer, so I just can't join it. And well, Mega Pounders, I thought it was MP stood for micro penis, so I couldn't join it. But Mega Pounders with Cheese, I don't know, man. I don't think I'm gonna be able to join Jake in that venture yet. Is it Jake that leads it?
Jake, me, Caesar, and Zank Chris.
Okay, well that's 4 of y'all, so I just can't, you know, over team that. That's too many people.
You don't want to NWO it?
I don't what?
You don't want to NWO it, having like 10 members?
Yeah, no, I can't deal with. I hate factions that have more than like 5 people.
Well, hey, shit, you could start your own faction.
Maybe WTP crew, I guess. Rasta Tacos podcast, yeah.
You got to do your recruiting as well.
Oh, that's just too much work, man. I already have a lot on my hands. I'll let someone else take care of it.
Well, it's after they got done with Dick Pound canceling the Olympics, they went over the whole quarantine list that has grown since the podcast has dropped. They talked about Dana Brooke and Rey Mysterio being quarantined. I don't know what they would have had for Rey, but I know Dana was supposed to be in the 6-pack challenge. She's been replaced. I'm not sure by who yet. But what are your thoughts on all this? All the wrestlers like dropping out of Mania so far. Do you think they should just cancel it, or what are your thoughts on this whole quarantine?
Personally, I feel that they shouldn't have canceled it. They should have kept it going like how they are right now. I enjoyed it. I like it because you know, we have a lot of sports have been canceling. We don't have anything to watch on TV. The fact that they're still trying to entertain us, I think, is I guess bravo to them. But with all these wrestlers dropping out, it's for their health. Like I think Roman Reigns got reported yesterday for dropping out. Andrade for a rib injury. One of the guys from AOP's dropped out as well because of a shoulder injury. And then the 2 you said, Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke, because they're sick. I believe The Miz as well. And a couple others I can't remember, but they reported today.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy as well.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy. It looks like it's going to be a shit show, but I can't really be pissed off at them because they're still trying to entertain us. They're putting it on unlike all these other sports that aren't doing anything. But, I mean, hey, even if anybody has to wrestle for an hour, I'm fine with it. John Cena and The Fiend, if they have to be on for an hour, fuck it, I'll enjoy that match.
Well, if you think about it, Vince McMahon has kind of been preparing for this for years now. His roster is so overloaded with talent that anytime someone drops out, he could just put someone right in their place. So it's not like he has any shortage of talent on that roster. So it's just giving someone else an opportunity because I read on a website that Andrade has been replaced with Austin Theory is going to be teaming with what's that dude's name? The one who rips off the
Angel Garza.
Angel Garza to take on the Street Profits now. What a weird replacement. I guess he was already there for NXT, so they just said fuck it and replaced him.
Yeah, this is a great time for the NXT superstars to step up. And, I mean, everyone cares about their health, obviously. I give kudos to Roman Reigns for dropping out. I may not like him personally, but may not like his character personally, but the fact that he dropped out because of his health, because he's more of a higher risk, kudos to him. He doesn't want to bring around his family. Same thing with The Miz. He doesn't want to bring around his family. Daniel Bryan as well. But this is a way for the NXT roster to step up. Austin Theory, I think that's going to be a great match with the face of the Street Profits, I believe.
Yes.
And any of the other NXT superstars, shit, give me Velveteen Dream versus Goldberg. I would actually enjoy that match with Velveteen Dream in it. Chance.
What would your reaction be if they had Goldberg with the Universal Championship being introduced to the ring? He's standing in the middle of the ring, and the announcer goes, "And his opponent," and fucking Gronk's music hit, and he started dancing to the ring and shit, challenging Goldberg.
I think Gronk, what's his name? Gronk Rokowski or whatever.
Yeah.
He just signed a contract, I believe. So I wouldn't be upset. Fucking take the title off Goldberg. I fucking hate Goldberg. That guy, let's say Mandy with an eye. I'm sorry, but I fucking hate Goldberg so much. I don't think he deserved that title. He didn't deserve it the first time when he beat Kevin Owens. He doesn't deserve it this time being the Fiend. But Gronk at least is more going to be full time, I believe. So shit, give it a Gronk and have Roman Reigns beat Gronk for it later on.
Yeah, Andy is on an island all by himself with that Goldberg love because I don't believe anybody likes Goldberg right now. I guess he was just there to drop the belt to Roman anyway, but I think WWE thrives under pressure, so I think they're going to give us a good product no matter what happens at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I'm excited for it being 2 nights as well. It's been needing to go 2 nights for the past few years. So the fact that they're actually doing it, and then people are pissed off with TakeOver being canceled, but TakeOver will be on NXT the next couple weeks, which I'm excited for. That should help boost up the ratings for them.
Oh hell yeah! And you know how takeovers they always keep getting better and better. So we're gonna get to see a takeover sort of on the actual USA show. It should boost the ratings because I guarantee every one of those matches is at least gonna be a 4-star, or as the guys would put it, 7 slices.
Yeah, 7 slices for sure.
Well, it only took them 25 minutes to get to the Facebook questions because of how, uneventful SmackDown was. And while Jake was reading hashtags on the Facebook questions, that's when he just gave up on life and turned heel on all of us. And here's the first part of Jake turning heel while reading the hashtags.
I don't give a shit. Vote for I don't give a shit. I don't give a fucking shit what these fucking losers vote for. You know what? You can fucking take all the wins. I don't need the support of these fucking idiots. Boom.
So it only escalated from there, but what are your thoughts on Jake finally cracking due to the hashtags?
Well, since day one, I've been a Jake supporter just because I feel like he gets me. He's a Funko fanatic, collects pops. He's a geek. He watches wrestling, I guess, sometimes, but just because he has a podcast, I'm pretty sure. But I was all for Jake up until a few weeks ago, whenever he talked about wearing a mankini inside the bathtub. I couldn't get behind that, so I tried joining Zenka's side after that part, but I couldn't because Zenka didn't want me on this side pretty much. Not reading my fucking hashtag, Zenka. But I'm back on Jake's side for this, and I'm all good. I'm always love a great heel turn. I believe this was a tremendous heel turn from Jake, just because he just cracked. He's done with everybody. I'm pretty sure he's done with me too, but you know what? I'm still going to be supporting him.
It was almost a double turn because Jake, he finally turned heel and Zanka was starting to be more positive. I was shocked. I was like, the whole dynamic of the show has been reversed.
Yeah.
And then Zanka started talking about Undertaker taking pictures with tigers, and that was fucking hilarious. That set him off on a good rant, and here's a part of it.
There's nothing Undertaker has done inside the ring, but that tiger video with his fucking kooky wife really fucking made me angry, and I have no idea why. Staying in a goddamn pool with a tiger, I hope that thing turns around and mauls your fucking face off, you weird asshole. That's all. Yes.
What do you think about Undertaker being an advocate for tigers, along with Michelle McCool?
Someone posted that picture that I saw, and I could have sworn I read the caption Liger. And I don't know. I mean, I didn't get offended by it. I didn't get pissed off with it. I was like, okay, that's cool. Undertaker's already been killing kayfabe with the whole fucking social media shit. So I mean, I'm not for it, but I'm not against it. I'm not a huge Taker advocate, but I don't think I ever truly was. I like the streak and all, but I mean, I was never truly behind Undertaker fully 100%. So I mean, I'm not really for nor against it. Just do what you want to do.
Well, I'm surprised Zenko was as affected by the Tiger thing over what Taker did the other month. A couple months ago, he did like this Christian TV show, and he was talking normal and he was praising Jesus the whole time. I thought that was way more out of character than Taker posing with some tigers.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off too with the Christian. I didn't know he was religious. I mean, I could have assumed, but I didn't know he was religious. I'm not really religious. And I was like, man, you're like the dead man. You're all this, but you're just gonna be on a Christian talk show.
I think it's a huge sign of where his career is right now. He's like preparing to wind down and retire, hopefully. So now I guess Michelle McCool probably is like, well, you need to expand your brand, and so he's going on Christian talk shows and taking care of tigers because I think he knows his in-ring career is at its final couple matches, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. He should have retired back at WrestleMania 33 when he lost to Reigns, but I mean, that wasn't our decision.
Well, after that, the show was winding down, and Zanko was starting to read hashtags, and Jake was poking fun at him about it. So Zanka mocked Jake the way he read the hashtags, and this is what Jake said during that whole thing.
Those days are over. Hashtag we got one. If that's what you want, cancel the podcast. Those days are over. Fly fast, whooping. Until something good happens, I'm fucking done. World. I don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. No one wants to fucking be here. Over. The only reason we still do this is so people can fucking listen to it. And if we don't do it, complain. We're not allowed to take any fucking days off. Hashtag thank you for sharing us. Oh gosh.
Well, I did talk to Jake. I've been talking to Jake for a while now, and I asked him what was going on, and he said that he just had a bad day, and he was basically just venting on the podcast. So, we all have bad days when we're in bad moods, and plus all this Corona shit's going on, and certain places are closed, certain people are getting paid still to not work, and it was just a ton of stress. And I'm pretty sure next week Jake will be back to his semi-optimistic self.
I hope he isn't. I hope he stays heel and talk shit to all these hashtaggers that give him shit, like Adam and I can't remember anybody else. I just have Adam on my mind for some reason.
Well, that brought the podcast to an end. So now, Franco, you get to be the first person to add to the brand new Crumb-Offs. The next Crumb-Off tournament is the MILF tournament. You can choose a MILF. Any MILF from, I'm not going to just limit it to wrestling because there's not that many mothers who are wrestling. So it's up to you to be the first one to add to the MILF Crumb-Offs. Who do you choose?
Do you have your headphones?
The MILF tournament. I gotta go with number one MILF. Honestly, Mickey James.
Mickey James. Nice.
Mickey James.
Hell yeah. Man, is she ever coming back?
I hope so. I mean, I miss her. She should be on SmackDown. That's the show I actually watch.
Alrighty, well, let's kick it off. AEW. No spectators this time. No people, heels or faces. No JR, Taz, or Excalibur either. This time it was Cody and Omega with Tony Schiavone on commentary. What did you think of this commentating team? Were you nervous at first, or did you know it would be a good show because they know what they're talking about?
No, I actually enjoyed it. Cody on commentary I've always loved, even in WWE, and he did a real good job on commentary. I like the kickoff because he just said, "Oh, I'm gonna go out to the ring," because his match was the first one.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, it kind of cut off on you. All right, the first matchup was Cody taking on Jimmy Havoc, who I haven't seen much of because I guess he was on AEW Dark most of the time. Jimmy Havoc, British. I wasn't aware of that either. They had a little screen, picture in picture backstage with Billy Gunn, his kid, Sean Spears, and Jericho watching and shouting at the monitor along with his matchup. I liked how Jimmy was fighting dirty. He's more of a roughneck style, doing the eye gouge, the ear yanks, and the tongue pull. But Cody does win after 2 crossroads. What stood out to you during this match? And do you think that Jimmy Havoc came off impressive?
Nothing really stood out to me, honestly. I did enjoy it though. It was a decent match. Um, my wife was upset because Jimmy Havoc lost because he was, I believe, 3-0 in it. And I mean, it was just obvious that Havoc was going to lose. It's Cody. They're going to build up Cody even more for the Jake the Snake and Lance Archer. So, but I mean, it was a good little match. I enjoyed it.
Well, shit, I was actually glad to see Jimmy Havoc as well because, like I said, I haven't seen him in a while, and I like his look. He's a psychopath, and I remember that match with him and Darby and Joey at that one pay-per-view. They all got super crazy with that Cracker Barrel match. It was pretty sweet. I hope we see more of Jimmy Havoc in the future. I mean, at least he got on TV. After this, a Jake the Snake video plays, and it's basically Jake the Snake cutting promos like only Jake the Snake can. He's a master at it. He begs for a chance against Cody, and he says, "Trust me." Do you think Jake the Snake will get physical during the Archer versus Cody match that will eventually happen?
I believe so. He has to, I believe. It'll make it better, especially since Arn Anderson's on Cody's side as manager. So I think they'll both get physical together.
I just hope neither of them breaks a hip because we need these guys around, and I hope they stay healthy too because that fucking coronavirus is everywhere right now.
Yeah, for sure.
After the commercial break, Cody returns to commentary, and we get a Darby Allin video package. It was pretty good and creepy with all the paper masks and shit. He's preparing for a war against the Inner Circle. We get Darby Allin versus Kip Sabian, super bad. Again, Kip with the greatest asset in AEW, Penelope, helping out. Did you like this match, and did anything stand out to you during this match? They also had a commercial break during it. It lasted 2 segments.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm really big on Darby Allin, like everybody else. And I'm really big. Kip Sabian's like one of my favorites right now. And I think it was a really, really good match. But the fact that Kip Sabian lost is just a tragedy to me.
Well, yeah, like you said, Darby won with the Last Supper. Kip Sabian versus Colt Cabana, I'm guessing will happen in the future. Are you a fan of Colt Cabana, or do you like Kip better?
I wasn't big on Colt Cabana in the past, but in AEW he's been getting better, or from I used to watch him in, and I actually enjoy him. But I hope Kip Sabian wins that feud.
Well, shit, it doesn't hurt.
He needs to win.
Penelope around as well. You know she's going to help him out during that match. Colt Cabana is pretty funny. I love his moveset. The Superman pin is fucking hilarious. It's going to be entertaining, so I can't wait to see that matchup in the future when it does take place.
Yeah.
We get a Jake Hagar video package. After this, Jake Hagar versus Chico. I didn't bother writing his last name down because I know he was a jobber. But after a rock bottom and an arm triangle submission, Jake takes the win. But Moxley comes out and hits the Dirty Deeds. Jake hits the ankle lock. They're pretty much brawling with each other because fucking Jake Hagar is a badass and the Dirty Deeds barely affected him. That's going to be an interesting matchup. I didn't see Jake being the next feud for Moxley. Do you think Jake will go over, or do you think Mox will keep that title if they do, in fact, have a match down the road?
I believe Moxley will probably retain more than likely. He needs a big win off of being Jericho and everything. But I'm going to enjoy the match. I've always been a big fan of Jake Hager, former Jack Swagger. I've always been a huge fan of him in WWE just because the way he was. I know not most people didn't like him because of his mic skills, but I enjoyed his wrestling skills, wrestling ability, and his character, even though he had a lisp. But I think that's what I liked about him was because he reminded me of my brother a lot for some reason.
Well, after the commercial break, Moxley basically says he will put the title on the line against Jake Hagar, so that should be very entertaining. But you know how it's gonna go down. The fucking inner circle is gonna pull some shenanigans, and I don't know. Mox might drop it because Jericho held on to it so damn long. Maybe we'll get a fast switch with the title. Maybe not. Hopefully not, because Moxley, he just got the damn thing. But Brody Lee eating dinner video package. This caused a lot of controversy on the dirt sheets. Like, apparently, Brody was just roasting Vince McMahon, this entire time. He was eating a steak dinner and got pissed off that one of the Dark Order dudes started eating before him. And the other guy sneezed. He told him to leave. Did you get a kick out of this? And did you notice that he was poking fun at Vince?
I enjoyed it. I laughed at it. It was pretty funny to me. I didn't think anything about it being related to Vince or anything until I think the next day yesterday, when I started seeing on the dirt sheets, oh, this was a stab at Vince. I can see it being a stab at Vince, but I mean, even then, just enjoy it for what it is, whether it's a stab or not. I mean, Brody Lee, that was pretty entertaining. It was funny. And I personally didn't feel like it was a stab. I think it was a reach for a stab.
Well, if you think about it, fucking Brody Lee has earned it. The way he was being treated in WWE, I mean, Christ. Vince McMahon, just because Brody couldn't do a Southern accent, fucking Vince buries him. And how many gimmicks did Brody have in WWE? It didn't seem like Vince was giving him a fair shot. So I enjoyed this as well. I thought it was pretty funny. The only thing I picked up was the sneeze part. I didn't know the steak thing was also a jab at Vince, but I was entertained.
Yeah, it reminded me more of how Cody was back in, I think, Ring of Honor and JPW. Daddy eats first. So that's why I thought more of it rather than it being a stab at Vince.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I was not familiar with Cody's New Japan or Ring of Honor work, but damn, I got a lot of homework to do because I'm still catching up on Matt Taven.
I'm not a huge fan of Matt Taven. I know everybody on the podcast is, but I'm not that big of a fan of Matt Taven.
Up next, we get QT Marshall versus Brody Lee. Brody Lee just beats the shit out of him, basically. Apparently, the picture-in-picture, Kip Sabian joined Jericho and Spears and Billy Gunn, and they were making it seem like he keeps farting or something. Brody changed his gear. I noticed that he went from purple and black to I like this week's gear over last week's gear. Last week's gear was kind of confusing. We even talked about it on the Hangover last week as well. It kind of looks like Kane's gear with stitches, but in yellow. It's pretty cool. But he did a weird Sister Abigail setup for a spinning lariat for the win. Did you like this match, and were you impressed by Brody?
Yeah, I liked it. I've always liked Luke Harper, and I'm glad that he's keeping the lariat as a finisher.
I keep anticipating him doing the yeah. Remember how he did that in WWE?
Yeah, I want him to do that again. That was entertaining. I always like that.
To do that shit. Well, after a commercial break, we get a recap of Matt Hardy stuff. Nick Jackson update from Vanguard 1, which is weird. It looked like the Terminator's vision from Terminator 2. I guess he's working out, so he's doing a lot better. Maybe he'll return sooner than later. I guess Blood and Guts was postponed, right? Because it was supposed to happen this night.
Yeah, they postponed it because of they didn't want to do it in an empty arena. They wanted the fans there.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This was the main event. It was Sammy Guevara versus Kenny Omega. After the commercial break, we see Sammy sitting next to a Jericho chair, chanting "Kenny sucks" because Sammy had cardboard cutouts of everybody in the audience. And it was a AAA title defense because Kenny Omega is the AAA mega champion from Mexico. I do like how they're still building the rivalry for Blood and Guts, giving everybody a story. Like they had Cody versus Ortiz. Now they have Omega versus Sammy. So it's getting like a deeper story into the eventual Blood and Guts matchup. Funny part of this match was when Sammy made out with the Brandy Rhodes fucking cardboard cutout, and they zoomed in on Brandy's face, and she looked all disgusted. What did you think of this matchup?
I left my ass off at that moment. But the whole match, I'm a big Sammy Guevara fan, so I enjoyed the hell of the match. It was a great match. Everything about it was great, from the story to the wrestling to freaking Sammy kissing the cutout of Brandy. The camera work for that was just awesome.
I noticed that you did interview Sammy. How is he in person?
He is, dude. He's really nice. He's nothing like his character right now. He's super nice, chill dude. And that interview is actually up on our YouTube channel. If you want to check it out, it's on Wrestling Tacos podcast, also on our Facebook. But that the whole interview was great. It was just fucking awesome to interview him.
Did you ever think he would end up in AEW and become a big deal like he is now?
Whenever they announced him, I was excited. I know whenever I think a year prior, it was my first time seeing him. And his first match, he blew me away. I was like, dude, this guy's going to be somewhere in WWE one day, NXT. Like, can't wait for it. And, just a year later, AEW gets made, and he's one of the, I think, first few people to get announced. I was fucking excited for it.
Did he ever explain what the panda gimmick was? Why did he have a panda skin as a ring entrance gear?
His thing, he's always been his favorite animal is a panda ever since he was a kid. So he worked into his gimmick, Panda Fam, and all that.
Why do you think he dropped it in AEW?
Has he dropped it? I don't think he's dropped it. Well, I know he does it for the vlog still, but maybe he dropped it for Inner Circle just because they don't want to. It's kind of silly, I guess, Panda Fam. It's more of a, I guess if you're a babyface, he'll get over rather than him being a heel and he gain over.
That's what I was thinking too. It looked more of like a face gimmick rather than an Inner Circle gimmick. During the matchup, Brandy does slap Sammy. This was a really good match, like you said. But after 25 minutes and like 15 fucking V-triggers, Kenny does win with the one-winged angel. If I could rank, I'd give this a good 6 and stuffed crust slice. What would your slice rating be for the main event?
Mine would probably be a solid 7.
Nice. Yeah, it was a must-see match, and that's got to be probably the best match of the entire week, actually. I'm including NXT. After a commercial break, Omega rejoins commentary. Jericho comes out. We're all anticipating Jericho and Hardy coming face to face. Jericho comes out. He grabs the camera from the cameraman, and he sings some weird song. And then Jericho cuts a promo calling out Matt Hardy. But Vanguard 1 shows up instead. This is one of the most entertaining things Jericho has ever done. I know it's popped pretty much every wrestling fan, even Sam, that wrestling guy, got a kick out of this. He was posting memes about it. Jericho tries to recruit Vanguard 1, and of course, Vanguard can't really answer. He just backed up. Eventually, Matt Hardy shows up. There was a really corny video cut of him coming from the rafters to, appearing into the ring. Which it was corny, but I loved it because it's something you don't see every day. It's so out of the box. That was what Matt Hardy was trying to bring to WWE, but now he can finally show all of his pure genius in AEW. He finally gets into the ring. It was a great promo. Matt kept chomping his teeth for some reason. Hardy does drop Jericho, but Sammy comes in and drops Hardy. Cody and Omega come out for the save. There is tons of pyro, and Matt stands in the ring with Cody and Omega to close out the show. What was your favorite part of this closing segment?
I have 2 favorite parts. One was, of course, Jericho on the drone. That was just a solid promo. It was hilarious. And I believe on social media, he actually did another promo on his own Roomba, which was another funny little thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And My second favorite part was, God, I lost my train of thought. Jericho at the end, he got punched by Matt Hardy and laid out pretty much, and he said, "Oh, you're not Matt Hardy. Something's in you because you laid me out. But I'm also a magician or a witch or something like that." And he said, "Abracadabra, Matt Hardy's gonna get his ass beat or something like that." As whenever Guevara and came out, and I just thought that was hilarious. That line was fucking hilarious.
Well, this was, of course, an incredible show. AEW with no crowd, it always, I mean, this is the second show like that, and it's always pretty damn good. NXT was kind of rough, but we did it, man. We broke down AEW, reviewed the podcast. Is there anything else you want to plug before we skedaddle?
I just want to talk about for NXT. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Dexter Lumis. They aired a vignette for him, and I'm excited for that because Dexter Lumis, I'm excited for what the character they're gonna be doing with him. He hasn't been seen since like that tournament that ACH won back in the summer.
Yeah, that
So
was
I'm excited for that. Yeah, and his gimmick it's an eerie psycho type of guy. I'm just excited for it.
Do you know
also
he's going to return?
good. Yeah, they aired a vignette. They didn't say when, but he was on he was obviously in the vignette. I forgot what he did, but he just like looked eerie and shit. They didn't release a date for when he's returning though.
Yeah, I can't wait to
And
see him.
yeah, the second one was of course Killer Cross during the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa segment. I'm excited for him to finally come. I hope he goes after Ciampa because I think that feud will be fucking insane.
Do you believe it'll be a triple threat, or do you think he'll take them out one by one?
I think it'll be one by one, but I don't think he'll actually go after Gargano. I think it'll be more Ciampa that he goes after.
Is it because they have similar mindsets, or Killer Cross sees him as a threat?
I would think Killer Cross will see him more as the big dog he needs to take out.
Do you think he'll have his name, or do you think they'll alter his name?
I have no idea. I hope he keeps his name because I don't see him as anything else besides Killer Cross.
Well, you know WWE, they won't let War Raiders be War Raiders or War Machine.
Yeah, that's annoying little tidbit, but hopefully Killer Cross fought for it. Or even then, I think his old name used to be Kevin Cross, so I think I'll be fine with Kevin Cross as well.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Well,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead and plug your podcast one more time before we leave.
All right, podcast is on all social media platforms at Wrestling Tacos. That's WRASSLIN Tacos TALKOS, and you find it on all podcast platforms as well, iTunes, Spotify, and all that.
Well, all righty, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, all hail Linda's Bush.
I'm beyond all that fuck shit. Hey.
Hey, lil' mama, would you like to be my sunshine?
Hail Ceizar.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Julius_Caesar, and Brittany Bomber has asked me how I feel about this peopleless mania recorded mania shit. I think it's dumb as fuck. Okay? Because the 2-night shit don't feel special to me. It's WrestleMania. It's supposed to be one night. It's supposed to be 8 fucking hours. You're supposed to sit fucking through it. Because it's supposed to be the fucking Super Bowl, NBA championship, fucking World Series of wrestling. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to hate that you have to sit that long, do some fuck shit, but you love wrestling. So you suck it up and you fucking do it. Because that's the fan and you wanting to do that shit. This 2-night shit, I don't know. Let me find out the card is real whack Saturday and all right, Sunday, and decent on Sunday. Even if there was people. Let me find out there's people there and the Saturday shit was whack. I ain't watching that shit. Let Rona end on April 3rd. Bitch, that's a Saturday night. I'm going out in them streets and getting some butt meat. Fuck you mean? Am I waste a Saturday night sitting at home watching wrestling? Get the fuck out of my life. I'll put that shit on the network on Monday. Supposed to be on Sunday. Supposed to be 8 hours. Supposed to have a 2-hour fucking pre-show. And then 6 hours of fucking horse shit. And then what are they going to do? Can't do no battle royals because of Rona. So that's 2 matches out. Then you got the U.S. Championship and a fucking tag title match. So that's an extra match already lays out. What the fuck these motherfuckers gonna do for 2 nights? And don't tell me you trying to have 2 nights with 4 hours apiece. 7 to 11 both nights? 4 hours of wrestling? You can't have no promos. Ain't nobody in the fucking audience. I mean, hell, Jericho said that shit last night. Who you talking to, Matt? There's nobody here. You talking to the people at home? You can't have no promo with people at home because they're not gonna chant that shit in the crowd. So look, all that shit needs to be is vignettes and wrestling. And since you have not that many matches still planned, like these matches better be, what, if they're 30 minutes apiece, they better be all fucking 5-star. Don't have no garbage ass 1-star match on for 30 minutes because that's some fuck shit that I don't fucking want to hear or watch. I'm gonna fucking go, get a ham sandwich. Turn something else on. I'm like, man, this shit sucks tonight. I ain't watching the rest of this bullshit. I'll just wait till fucking Monday and watch all this shit on the network. I mean, that's what I think. Plain as day. I don't know about you. I'm not saying only match I'm psyched on is fucking Randy and Edge. And if they put that shit on Saturday, you might not catch me in the comments Sunday. That's all I'm saying. Motherfucker gonna be dry. Chat about to be dry. Everything about to be dry. This dry ass man. This mania is like 80-year-old pussy. It's dry. Don't want it. Don't need it. Don't like it. Holla at your boy. Comments. Tuesdays. You know what to do. East Coast.